Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just gonna go for the one-to-one trade, leaving the birds in the top lane just in case. Unfortunately, they're not gonna kill this fast enough to be able to TP back and defend their own tier 1. So it'll just be a flat-out trade for both teams. But it does buy time for Sumail to be able to kill these stacks. It's really tough though, taking down these stacks when it's the double Prowler Shaman stack, so they just regen a ton of health. Like, he's basically not even hurt them.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
He just decides, nope, too much health.
Give on it, up on it for now. Lgd, keep on going. Familiar's trying to draw attention away. They might as well keep if that's the siege. I'm sure EG don't feel too comfortable to just keep pushing on the bottom lane.
Well, normally with the Pugna you'd say, yeah, let's just do it, you know. But he doesn't have, oh, he has enough for Arcanes now. And he's only level 5, so it's a level 3 blast. If he had the mana sustain, I believe they would have kept going.
Radiant are scanning.
Now they're stuck in this awkward situation where they don't feel good about pushing, but they also can't really feel good about defending either. Lgd to have a lot of fighting power at this point in time with the Phantom Assassin sitting at level 8. Ame does go down to bottom lane, so they've done these kind of chip, and they've left 2 different towers very low. The bottom lane off lane tower from Evil Geniuses is actually still sitting in that deny range, and top only at 400 HP. So those towers will fall eventually. Just makes a little bit of a fortuitous team fight for Lgd. Push turn into an objective. A 3-man smoke up from Evil Geniuses, wrapping into the bottom lane. Ame is their target, and Victoria, he's been vendettaing around, but he wasn't in position to break that smoke. That would have been a huge win for him, and he might still be able to. He actually runs into crit here. They don't have any counter vision out. So EG's rotation does indeed fail as Ame backs up. Great read by Lgd.
I think that Lgd are gonna be in for a real big surprise soon though, because that smoke on Universe did not end up breaking, and he has a Blink Dagger. It's 12 minutes into the game, and he's got the Soul Ring, the boots, the Blink. The showcase of this could have huge implications for EG getting momentum back.
There's the Echo Slam. It's going to go onto an Nyx Assassin, take that free kill before the Spike Carapace can go off. But maybe he wants to fight this. Maybe he does. We'll see. The Familiars are coming in hard. The Universe already takes 1 crit worth, and they're just going to be able to burst him down. Now they try and back up, but the Familiars are here with the silence, and the stuns are going to be able to control maybe for a really long time, but they do have the Chain Frost, and Arteezy can take it, but Zai cannot. It actually bounced over to hit crit as well, so maybe he's going to be able to get away a little bit farther. Dodges some of that damage over time, and I think he's going to be okay. Ame just looks for his next victim. Now he doesn't like fighting into Arteezy, but he really wants to be able to get on top of the crits, and he just can't do it. He's going to have to back up. It's too much magic damage taking from these blasts. Victoria's coming in with his Vendetta, though.
This hero is so hard to kill, man. Like, he's got the hood, the medallion. Saw this build in the previous match. So much armor and survivability out of Visage. You kind of have to throw the kitchen sink at that hero if you want him to die.
Yeah. And that's why I think Lgd just kind of avoided it, right? And just kill all the other surrounding heroes. Crit! Whoa! That was pretty fortunate, but he sort of that completely advanced Victoria.
Looks like they'll finally claim the Ancient stack here since we have a bit of a lull action on that. Zai helping out, and by that I mean stealing the majority of the creeps. The thing is, when you have the double Prowler stack, they regenerate 40 health a second. It's so much that it actually takes a long time for even TA, who does a ton of physical damage, to be able to kind of chew through that. So Lgd still with an incremental lead, about 3,000. Nothing to necessarily write home about, but I think the longevity of their lineup and just how much they're going to be able to do with the late game PA, Ame working his way towards that Desolator and having the Empower to fall back on, that's the thing that I feel EG are most scared of at this point.
2 Initiators ready to go. Old 11 has a Blink Dagger. He's smoked up with may not have Blink Dagger, but it doesn't matter. Nyx Assassin are already set up on Arteezy, as you said. Kitchen sink, that's what they got to bring over here. They are going to start the initiation before most of the team's over here, so Nyx Assassin is going to be stunned up by the Familiars.
I think that Vendetta healed him. Like, he took like no damage at all. He just casually walks away or floats, or
so much damage reduction that you actually get healed.
And it seems that way.
Sumail is actually clearing through the enemy Ancients. He's so desperate to just farm away because he really wants that Desolator as one of his bigger peaks for the Templar Assassin. LGD are cutting out a larger part of the map for themselves. They've taken all those outer towers. They just need creep waves to push in. They'll own 60% of this map. Two instead goes to the skewer back, and they actually just slay the Earth Spirit, maybe more. The dagger's going to be able to land onto Zai. Victoria's just going to go for the nuke. Up and a mana burn will actually finish him off.
That's only a level 1 mana burn cap. It was only level 1.
Minus 201 mana, and then amplified, but in fact he was still amplified. It's not fun playing those squishy intelligence heroes against Nyx Assassin.
Dire's top
Just
tower
so many
is
of
under
them in the
attack.
draft, Jasper.
Dire's structures
Man, I
are
would not want to play
fortified.
Pugna against these heroes. Like, Puck
Radiant's
is really good
bottom tower is
against
under
him.
attack.
The Nyx Assassin,
Dire's
obviously.
top tower
If the
is
PA ever gets Diffusal Blade, you just can't really live. Interestingly enough, though, Ame is going back to the Manta. I know that it's common for a lot of heroes playing around in Power to want to build stat-oriented items. But I'm kind of curious as to, you know, is Manta really going to benefit you as much as a BKB in these fights when you have to worry about things like Shaker and like getting stunned by the birds and all that other stuff? Because you can Manta off like Grave Chill, you can Manta off the Geomagnetic Grip Silence, which feels kind of nice, and the Yasha is definitely value for any melee hero being able to attack and stuff, but I'm wondering if the BKB wouldn't allow the PA to do more in fights.
A Vendetta is going to pop EG Smoke, and oh, again, they're a little bit late. Oh, Jesus, that's a lot of dust, and he gets out the Spike Carapace before any of those abilities hit him, so he bounces back a lot better than damage. Victoria is going to be slain by the Echo Slam, but that's full-on commitment from Universe there. He's actually going to be hit by just a bunch of nukes from LGD, brought down, and the Coil also latching onto Sumail is going to be able to get that extra hero. The RP laid down onto him. Zai's going to go and try and get some life drain out with a Chain Frost bounce around between the familiars, and straight over to Sumail, hits him again. Sumail just can't get away from all this. Now Arteezy, it's up to him to somehow win this, but I don't think it's possible. With two of their heroes down, LGD, they're just going to be able to hunt for more. Dagger comes up into Arteezy with the skewer back. You can be super tank. Oh, they're still going to ignore. They're going to go for crit. Take him down. Leave Arteezy as the big, beefy dessert for dinner. He'll come down. Ame, and maybe just clean that team fight up. They're sitting at 10K and 8,000 net worth, respectively. Top two easily. Even get the extra kill inside. Maybe chase it all the way to the tier 7.
Universe being a bit uncharacteristically greedy there, you know, going in for the solo Echo onto the Nyx.
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't have enough vision of the enemy high ground. I guess we'll get to see it again, so.
I mean, they did have that mid.
Oh, this is a little bit later on into the fight. This is after they pretty much had already won it. I really like Ame's decision to just say, screw going for Arteezy until everyone else is dead. I think that's kind of how you have to handle the fights, because if you commit so much to the tankiest hero, and you kind of have this grouping up around the Visage, there's good opportunities for the Echo to come in, which obviously during that fight was down. But later on into the game, I'm kind of expecting some Universe Echoes that will be a little bit more fruitful than the one we just saw in the middle lane.
Yeah, Visage is just so tanky, and thanks to the Ice Armor, they can kind of ignore the damage of the birds as well.
Yeah.
Familiars aren't actually just chunking heroes down like they normally do.
That's the coolest thing about having a Lich on your team, when one team is so reliant on that core being able to burst you down with just sheer physical DPS, and you have Ice Armor and things like that. And later on, you know, maybe he even buys Solar Crest. It's a phenomenal item against Visage and PA especially, when you have one core going in like a Phantom Assassin who really needs to be able to live long enough to get that crit.
The Ward Sentry does spot Victoria here for crit. He's going to dive by himself into the Roshan. Victoria heads back over to top lane where Zai's trying to poke at it. He's going to wait for another blast. Spike Carapaces. No, he just goes for the stun. Will manage to land it. Oh, maybe. Honestly, there was no pressure to land the Impale there, because maybe he could just Practically blow him up on Phantom's Yow's gonna run into 2 here. The wards just ended up dying, but it was just long enough for them to be able to see Yow in position. Take that threesome of pick off, but they are gonna be caught. Maybe he's gone straight over from top lane and immediately got into mid. Catch the extra hero in the Earth Spirit. See if he can get any more though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The Shadow Blade.
He's so far.
Yeah. I mean, he sat in his lane and just farmed and farmed and farmed for a really long time.
I suppose it's just going back to the general laning phase discussion that we had about how it was so difficult for EG to realistically move right around the map and get kills. Like, most of the time, he was just soaking EXP. Because that's all he could do. It's not really about how he played the game, it's just the hero matching up individually against the respective cores of LGD and how little that he can do to stop them from getting that farm. And a lot of that's being showcased here as LGD have accrued it themselves an AK net worth lead in a 21-minute game. It's fairly substantial.
Sure. And I'm looking at this. Most of this farm is just being put on Sumail. Carry us, Sumail, please. But he only has Blink Dagger and Desolator. BKB's just not going to be up anytime soon. So LGD's dominance of this part of the game, I think, is still quite strong. Like, barring an incredible initiation Echo Slam, I don't think they lose many lives, really.
Most likely not, especially considering there's no True Strike coming out from anyone but the support, or not support, but offlane Shaker.
Yeah.
It's really tough to deal with Ame. He's got a double damage here. Manta's finished.
Yeah, this is pretty easy for them to take a chance on Roshan, because he could just do it by himself. There's very little threat of Evil Geniuses interrupting Roshan in a very disastrous initiation when you only have one hero that's beating on Roshan, the rest are outside, ready to counter-initiate. They're actually going to go for the 4-man smoke up here and back into the pit. There's still a trap there.
Yeah, still a trap and birds, so they will definitely know something is up.
Victoria doesn't have the Vendetta, so he's going to reveal the smoke pop. The universe starts moving forward. Oh my goodness. All right, well, thank God Medic's eye is there, but the RP! Old 11 spotted his opportunity to land onto 3. He's going to be able to grab RT as well with a Chain Frost bouncing around. That is all 3 of them dead. Universe's counter-initiation was just nothing. He threw out the Fissure, but what a beautiful setup from Old 11, just guaranteed won the team fight.
Oh boy, that 1 second, you know, that tiny lapse of judgment where everyone's sitting on top of each other, and just instantly Old 11 is in there. Perfect reaction, excellent bait, secures the Roshan. LGD feeling pretty good about their situation. They're gonna walk down the middle lane, get some damage on the tier 2. Oh god, that was such a fast reaction as well. Universe goes in and throws out the Fissure after the fact, but it's just too little too late. Ame already had the Empower, just shoot through everyone. And here we are back at the mid-tier 2.
Dire's middle
17 to
tower
7,
has fallen.
12,000 gold lead. LGD looking to tie out this 2-game series in the group stage.
It is going to be the medallion choice here on Yao. Going straight into the Solar Crest. It's really nice because your high ground siege hero is melee. So I think that in of itself kind of makes the Solar Crest a value item, because it's not like a ranged hero where you can, you know, sit super far back and feel safer. You got to be in there if you're the Phantom Assassin in this game.
Oh, Dust actually catches Sumail, who's wandering around with an Invis rune. He's got to go for this. And, oh, wait, they have heals. Okay, so Sumail's going to be stalled up. Does have the refraction blink away. Nice play there. Dagger onto the Earth Spirit, not going to land as he also successfully TPs out. It's a very small win for EG just to be able to get out of there alive.
There is still a lot of time needed for EG to be able to realistically deal with this Phantom Assassin. Like, sure, the BKB on the Templar Assassin will help, but Sumail's not really going to be able to man-fight an ice-armored Aegis Phantom Assassin without True Strike. That continues to be like the theme of the game. When can they physically kill the PA, not just one time, but twice? And do LGD feel comfortable enough in their advantage right now to try to pressure that high ground?
This is probably the hardest part of the game, though, for LGD. Yes, they're super far ahead, but it's just the essence of cracking high ground. Really difficult for them. They just don't have anything for it.
And we can see just the hesitant play here from Ame, waiting out the creep. Those birds just do not take damage if RTD's nearby.
Initiation actually on the side. They bring Sumail in for this one. They pop the BKB, but that is a puck that is able to dodge all the damage thanks to Yules. And now FASE for the Universe gets the initiation still onto him. So they get that big kill, but the RP goes down. Managed to grab 2, but Sumail will chase him away. The heroes are just ready to live. Ame, he actually comes in and gets another crit. Managed to finish off one, but he is so damn low. And if he dies, he might not come back alive with that Aegis. He's just going to come back and might die again. But fortunately, Sumail doesn't have any mana, and Universe doesn't really have a whole lot of mana either. He's going to be able to get that control of the Enchant Totem, plus the bird, slowing him down. This is the problem, is they can just kite Ame really well on that second life. But again, Sumail didn't really have the mana to come forward. They're trying to say, Jesus Christ! Ame, 982 damage from a dagger, but he will end up dying. That is a nice little impale. And Xiao, he is also going to be feasted upon by the Evil Geniuses boys. They just brought themselves a huge win in that defense. They won a fight against Aegis as well. There's a 4,000 gold swing and 9,000 experience gain for Evil Geniuses in that fight.
That was massive. Absolutely massive. Universe came in really big, getting the Echo that secured the kill onto Maybe. And I think the RP ended up baiting them into a fight where they didn't really want to dive that hard. So he sees it and he has Empower on and he thinks to himself, okay, I kind of have to go on this. And even though he crit 2 times and 3 or 4 attacks, it just really isn't worth it at the end of the day if you respawn, like you said, without the use of something like a BKB, because you can't just get out. The Manta style was on cooldown. He couldn't dispel the silences. I think it was like 1 or 2 seconds off. Victoria's going to look for a kill here on the crit, maybe.
But there is going to be RTZ there. They're going to burst down crit, but maybe RTZ can get the counter kill. Victoria, she certainly can't. This is one of the most dangerous levels for RTZ as well. The Visage gets to level 15, and all of a sudden his hero starts actually right-clicking the free guard. Before it's just all on the familiars, but level 15 you get that 50 damage thanks to the attack speed of Grave Chill and Mindless Armor from the Solar Crest. Your hero also starts doing a decent amount as well.
He's even going for the Assault Cuirass, so he's going to have armor on armor. Did not like how that last team fight went, getting crit 2 times and just pretty much being deleted.
Yeah.
That's definitely not what you want. EG's still holding on though. I mean, that was a really good timing for LGD that they held against that push. I mean, they barely even dealt any damage to tier 3.
It's kind of like an uncharacteristic mistake for LGD. I feel like the read is pretty clear. Like, you can't really go high ground and BKB.
Well, I mean, we say that, but he didn't even buy BKB after his Manta. He bought Diffusal instead.
Yeah.
So he's going for like the later timing where he's going to have another item to supplement his magic immunity and say, okay, if you decrep or you glimmer or whatever, I'm going to be able to just kill you anyway.
Yeah, and I think that's fair enough. Just, at that point in time, if they're going to choose for that kind of item build, LGD, they just need to control the game, right? With this kind of lineup, if you don't have a clear high ground hero, you have to control and just build and build and build and get more and more of an advantage until you're so overwhelmingly larger than the enemy team that you can just force that high ground despite not having the best heroes for it. And instead, they try and go a bit too early. That 12,000 gold lead that they had gets cut down to only 9k and only a 5,000 experience lead after that. They're going to push through top lane though. I highly doubt they're going to go high ground without Aegis and BKB. Plus, they almost have
yeah, it would be a little bit silly, I think, to try to force this after what happened in the bottom lane. And in the meantime, EG are feeling good about being out on the map right now. They're kind of positioned defensively around Sumail, who's going to hit the tier 2. So this movement, I still think kind of favors EG, just in the sense that they're getting an actual objective, where LGD were more just about placing that one ward right outside of Evil Genius's base and then saying, okay, let's go ahead and back off after we force a little bit of a reaction.
What do you think about the Bloodthorn over the MKB? Now, the Bloodthorn has been really heavily valued over MKB. It's been sort of a lost item, but this PA will have both the Manta as well as the BKB to deal with the Bloodthorn on himself.
I think that it's good in the sense that not a lot of heroes on the side of LGD can get rid of it. I think it's just the Puck and the PA. So maybe if Sumail in the fights is thinking to himself, I don't really want to directly fight the PA, I just want to kill everyone else, then it's a pretty good choice. And it also allows you to stay out on the map pretty much indefinitely. You know, you're always going to have mana that can still work with your opponent.
Shiva's reveal onto Earthshaker. Stuck up on the cliff, but Sumail is going to try and fight this one. He blinks forward with the BKB, the Yule Scepter onto maybe. Buys a lot of time where Sumail's just not doing anything with his BKB, so he's forced to retreat.
That halberd, man, that was like perfectly timed from 11. Cast it on him, just can't do anything. Like even a 10-second BKB, it's a 5-second disarm regardless.
Great choice of an item too for him. I mean, like at a certain point, you just think to yourself as Magnus, like, do I start building as a core? Do I actually start building as damage, which is kind of rare? Or you just most of the time get a lot of utility after you're building Dagger and Shadow. Having Halberd, I think, is the perfect like third item for him when it comes to utility against this team.
It makes a ton of sense because the biggest threat to his carry player is the TA. And if you really are only worried about like the potential Bloodthorn / MKB and killing Ame in the fights, then the best thing you can do if you're playing this kind of hero who supports as an offlane for your core, then Halberd is, like you said, it's pretty much the ideal choice. Because if Sumail is slow on the BKB pop and he gets disarmed again like that during a fight, 5 seconds is a really long time to not be able to hit somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, a PA could get 2 crits in that time and take out 2 different heroes.
Lotus Heart's going to be a great follow-up as well. Great choice time. Yep, back. A lot of things. But Lotus Orb's utility is going to be very valued for. The Manta Illusions are pushing out for Ame while he takes up Ancients. That's really nice things about these Manta pickup. He just kind of continues to build up his boss in a very safe way.
It is a little bit of a different build, but it's working out for him so far in this game. I guess he's not going to go for the lockdown choice. He's opting for the assault heroes. Maybe just itemizing more around the idea that he has to be the high ground sieging hero and not the I'm going to kill everyone hero, which is classically what Phantom Assassins like to do. Because you always, well, not always, but you sometimes have that other hero on your team that can reliably hit buildings. It's not just you.
Red alert! Red alert, LGD! Oh boy. Don't let creep waves push into your tier 3 against a Visage. Because familiars will take a big chunk of that tier 3 because there's no heroes around. So they actually have a lot less armor than you would usually expect.
Another Roshan attempt coming in here, maybe showing on the map. I like this play from LGD. I think that EG may have some kind of idea of what's going on, so there is plenty of vision on LGD as well. It's going to be able to scout out any movement coming in from the top.
They get the trap in there. They reveal that Roshan is quite low, but they back away. Gonna give up on that one. I think that's pretty bad. Again, LGD really could be stymied by the high ground riddle. So better to take the fight inside your own base, even if it means not contesting Roshan.
Well, LGD have another problem too, I think, right now, is do you really want to push mid? Mid is so much harder. I guess only 2 of the 3 shrines are up right now, but yeah, I guess they're going to go for the wrap and maybe just cut the wave bottom and try to make it so that it kind of pushes in on its own.
Stand familiars, just keep on pushing out bottom lane. Maybe with the Shivas he can actually kill. That's what I really love about the Shivas here.
Resummon.
RTZ resummon, well timed. Still forces something. EG, knowing that the puck is actually bottom lane, they're going to push out and see if they can catch somebody here. Universe, that is Blink. They're going to go for the Phantom Assassin here. They do manage to land the stun before the BKB, so he's just going to give up his first life. That's okay. He's going to come back with BKB and see if he can chase EG. Or EG going to feel like they can fight this one. He is actually going to blink forward and take the easier kill on Yao potentially, with the trap slowing him down. Universe just going to hold on to his Shadow Blade here, sit on the back lines, waiting for his blink. If there's any sort of counter initiation, like Victoria coming up here. RTZ, oh geez, Zame actually just blows up the Earth Spirit, but they do manage to get a jump in from Old 11. Unfortunately, he was silent, so the RP is only going to be able to catch one, but it is RTZ. Ame will take that kill. Echo Slam, oh no, it's a little bit late. They do manage to get the stun onto Ame, which buys Sumail a little bit of time, but he was Heaven's Halberd during all of that, so he just sat there in the Metal Strike, and now he's going to be surrounded by far too many heroes. LGD will actually take 4 of Evil Geniuses, only losing their Aegis and their Lich. That is the danger of pushing out of Evil Geniuses outside of your base.
He did 7,300 damage during that fight.
I thought for sure EG was just going to take that Aegis and then back up.
I think they wanted more because they knew that the puck wasn't there at the start. I think that's why they felt confident in being able to kind of push that a little bit farther, but man, were they just dead wrong. And now Lgd coming up middle lane. Still have Chain Frost. Got that cheese in the inventory of Ame still on the Phantom Assassin, so this is very difficult for EG to justify buying back on these two heroes. The respawn's so low, I think you just have to let this die.
Yeah. Without TA, it's not possible for them to win a fight against LGD, so...
Things look so promising at the beginning of that. They get the Bloodthorn on Ame into a stun lock, so he's not able to Manta or BKB. They get the Aegis with relative ease. They're basically in a 3v5 at that point. They just overcommit. And poor Crit, man, he just got one shot. This is 2 sets of very easy racks for LGD.
LGD still kind of sticking around. 11 with the Shadow Blade, just kind of hoping EG are going to poke one hero out in an awkward position. But EG remain pretty resolute in their stance around the tier 4s. So LGD will back up. That will be an Assault Huron finished up for Ame, 6,400 gold.
Dude, he's rich.
Lotus Orb for Magnus. Oh yeah, he's got the Aghanim Scepter. So they actually just got so much bigger than last
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
I think that the Lich pick ended up doing a ton more than you could probably just see at face value in this game, just because Ice Armor is just so huge against a physical damage output, and the BKB timing coming out on the PA ended up being kind of perfect for what they wanted. Just the PA hitting hard enough to really just destroy in one crit. Because that's really like the sweet spot, right? When you get one crit from your ultimate and you just kill the hero instantaneously. It's what happened to Crit, it's what happened to Zai earlier on.
What have we here?
Snail, pressure refraction, but maybe it's going to be able to jump forward and catch Zai. Fisher laid out, does give Zai a little bit of time with this Glimmer Cave to escape.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
Looks easy, split pushing for all he's worth.
It's just not really that fast. That's the thing, really. You can keep the birds in the side lanes, and they will idly keep the lane out. You can keep using the stuns off cooldown and whatnot, and it's definitely what you should be doing, but it might not be fast enough to make LGD back off, and that's
RP onto Soul Samael with the coil just for the added stun. He's dead. 90 seconds. How do they possibly hold against LGD, especially with Ame just running a train on Evil Geniuses, who's going for RTZ. Meanwhile, the jump forward by Crit does whatever disruptive damage he can, but in the end, it's 2 heroes from Evil Geniuses that are left. RTZ with the buyback, and Universe jumps forward. Okay, that's not the initiation you really wanted. He gets out only a Fisher, no Echo Slam. RTZ comes back just to die again, and EG will call it ultra kill for Ame to end things here in this game.
super impressive game from Lgd. I think after having seen the way the lanes played out, they just had such a stable, strong early game that it was so difficult for the Earth Spirit to accomplish.